Hey everybody, welcome back. Unboxing time. Mary's here.
Hello.
And we're here to finally open up the July 2020 horror pack. Ooh. And we're gonna open these up, and of course we will start doing movie reviews like we have been doing. I've been enjoying that. Especially when Mary actually watches some of these with me. That's pretty crazy. This was another one of those packages that was stuck in the post office. This one for a couple of weeks, but I was able to get it out of Hawk. And if you want to check out horror packs, like $25 a month, and we're getting 4, sometimes more, curated horror films on Blu Ray. You can also choose DVD. Sorry, I had the AC on earlier. And you're gonna get, at least one is gonna be exclusive that you can't get anywhere else, at least in the States, as of the releasing of the box. So that's really nice. And I love my horror films. We have a huge movie collection, over 7,000 titles. So a lot of times we get stuff we already have. But now even if I have it, that's another thing I love about doing the reviews, is that it encourages me to watch a movie I might not think to otherwise watch. So even if I already have it, it's still exciting to do. So I have a link in the description below. You can check that out if you want, and I believe it gets you a discount at checkout. I know it helps me. Also, if you like these movie reviews and you want more movie reviews, you want to check out my Patreon if you want, no pressure. It's like $1 a month. And I do at least 3 movie reviews over there every week, plus some video game Let's Plays. Like I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm playing The Last of Us right now, and some other stuff, Star Wars games and all that. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much what I say. So we're gonna shut up, we're gonna look at these things, we'll read it to you, we'll show the trailer so I can get the money claimed and not make a cent off this, which is why I need your help on Patreon. And I'm gonna let Mary start first and see what we get.
All right, let's see.
And then I probably have to turn it over after this.
It's stuck. Got Saint Agatha.
I don't know this one.
Atone for your sins.
Oh, from the director of Saw 2, 3, and 4. Oh, is this yeah, Darren Lynn Bousman.
It's also in French.
Oh, that's all right. I'm good with that.
All right, so.
Oh yeah, we have the new camera too, right?
Is that
aim for the center. It's not focusing. You may have to move it around a little bit to get it to focus. Sorry, we're still learning the focus issues here.
Come on,
like try it in and out. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Tilt back a little bit.
All right, I think that's
focused.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
It's
all right.
tiny.
There you go. Crystal clear focus. It just took us a minute to get there.
All right, and then there's the front. Doesn't that look lovely?
It does. It looks lovely to me. Maybe it's the Nun, but better.
All right.
Oh, well, that's okay. You're supposed to start reading before you pull back, but that's fine. Too late.
It's tiny.
Too late. You're fine. You're fine. Cut to the trailer.
Pray for your life. A pregnant, unmarried woman on the run from her abusive father seeks refuge in a convent hidden in deafening isolation. A perfect place to have a child reveals a sick and twisted truth, pushing Agatha to escape this evil and save her baby before she's caged behind these walls forever. And this is the entire thing in French.
You aren't gonna read it in French?
No.
Here, I will. Femme enceinte. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, French does things with letters. I'm sitting here, how do you get that sound out of that letter combination?
Yeah, they do. The French do things with all kinds of things. I don't know that this movie is in French. I think this is just one of those releases that they didn't want to print it for 2 audiences. So you just put the stuff on both things. We got some features though.
Yeah, let's see, director cut, director and cast commentary.
Okay.
Deleted scenes. That's it.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's just because they're in separate languages again that it looked like more.
No.
So,
It's in English and French.
2018. I recognize Darren Lynn Bousman. I'm not really recognizing anybody else in the credit block right now. That doesn't necessarily mean anything good or bad, just pointing that out.
I have a feeling this is probably not going to be in my jam.
Yeah, that's fine. As a matter of fact, I don't even see a rating on it, so I have no idea if it's like...
Should be a rating on there somewhere.
Not necessarily. Not if it's like direct to video. You only have to have a rating to get into theaters, essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And that's only to get into mainstream theaters, because they have to protect the children. 103 minutes. You got the 235 widescreen. I mean, Darren Lynn Bousman makes some good movies. He made my favorite Saw, which is the 4th one.
That's not the one with Chester in it.
No, that was 6 or 7. I think that was the final, not the last Saw movie, but the one they said was the last Saw movie when it wasn't the last Saw movie. Mm-hmm. But hell, I like all the Saw movies though. The only one I was upset with was the Jigsaw. And that's only because they didn't follow through on the brilliant premise they set up at the end of Saw the Final Chapter. Because they set something up that would have been brilliant to come back with a new thing called Jigsaw. However, we are getting Spiral whenever theaters open back up, and I'm real excited for that. That's Chris Rock and Sam Jackson in there, and it is a continuing in the Saw universe. I don't know if it's prequel, sequel, or what, but it looks fantastic.
Not my jam.
No, not your jam at all, but definitely my jam.
Nah.
Let's see what else is my jam. My jam has a first name. It's J-A-M. Doesn't work.
No. Did you just...
No. Last horror pack, we got Insidious. Now they gave us Insidious 3. Which is cool though. I've been meaning, I loved Insidious. I pulled out part 2 and 3 because I already have it to watch. So at least I don't have to go get them, but that means I gotta watch 2 before I can watch 3.
Did you already have them on Blu Ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had not seen them and they had not been opened. So, except the first one, because Dad watched that. But I really liked it. I liked it a lot. So I'm excited to check this out. I mean, I was intending to check it out.
Is this the one where they like got the nanny cam thing going on? And
maybe.
The first Insidious. I'm thinking Paranormal.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're thinking Paranormal Activity, which those movies are fantastic as well. So yeah, all right. So I'll show you the back here. Focus on me, baby. Focus on me, baby. All right, we'll figure this out in the future. Come on, you can do it.
It looked like it was doing okay,
It was
sweetie.
Close, it wasn't crisp. There we go.
I think that's as good as
That
you're
looks good, yep. So there's the back. This looks so much better than the GoPro did though. There's the front, and here we go. Go back to the beginning in this chilling prequel that takes place before the unforgettable haunting of the Lambert family, when paranormal investigators Tucker and Specs team up with psychic Elise to help a teenage girl contact her late mother. Elise is forced to venture back into the further, where she finds a ruthless supernatural entity craving the souls of the living. It's the darkest chapter yet in this spine-tingling portrayal of evil unleashed. And yes, Elise is Lin Shaye, horror icon. Quoted as the most terrifying chapter yet, Ben Rawson Jones of Digital Spy. Includes being haunted, a psychic medium speaks, deleted scenes, Stunts the Car Crash. That's like a really shitty secondary title for a movie. Stunts 2, The Car Crash. Cherry Glazer, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. I guess that was in part 1. Macabre Creations. Also includes Origin Story, making chapter 3. Directed by Lee Wanell, who is freaking awesome. So it is, Jason Blum was a producer.
Is it Blumhouse?
Yes, and this is a Blumhouse production. Oren Peli is also a producer. He is the guy that did Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
So that gives you some hint there. I don't like, so Lee Wanell he is one of the sidekicks. Right, he was really fun in the first one. It is PG-13, but you ain't got time to watch all 3 and I want to get on it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have a real good time with this.
I'm gonna look at the cover because I'm trying to figure out what the is going on here.
It's interesting that it's a prequel. I don't know that, I haven't seen part 2. I don't know that I agree with them saying supernatural. I mean, it plays like a supernatural, but I mean, that's one of the things I loved about part 1 was the way things were explained. Totally worked for me more than other things would. So it is a shame I have it, but I'm quite excited because it's something I legitimately have, like it's in my coming up to watch soon pile. So that's actually really cool. So that'll push me a little bit further. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I didn't watch it like a month ago and then, totally forget that that I need to review it. So that's cool. I gave you a fresher review that way. Nice. What was the year? 2015.
All right.
It's probably long enough. It's not quite the 3 minutes I like to leave between, but
yeah,
I've said what I can say, I suppose. So.
All right. So next we have
Pride
and Prejudice and Zombies.
Dude,
a 4K Ultra.
it's a 4K disc, and I have this, I think, but I never watched it, and I ain't got it in 4K.
Okay, I do actually want to watch this.
All right, so Mary will join me on the review for this, and of course we have a back first, remember? And we have a 4K system, so we're good to go. Wait. There. Come on. No, it's not. Why won't it even focus on my damn fingers?
It is focused on your fingers.
No, it's not crystal. All right, I don't know why we're having such focus issues here.
Because it's tiny print.
There we go.
It's like me, it goes tiny print. The fuck's this? Okay.
And now you would show them the front, then you can read. Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Oh, I'm stoked that's for. Oh, are you kidding me?
What?
I think it's my weasel shirt. Tilt it back a little so it catches the light. There you go.
All right.
Okay.
A zombie outbreak has fallen upon the land of this reimagining of Jane Austen's classic tale of the tangled relationships between lovers from different social classes in 19th century England. Feisty heroine Elizabeth Bennet, Lily James, is a master of martial arts and weaponry, and the handsome Mr. Darcy, Sam Riley, is a fierce zombie killer, yet the epitome of upper-class prejudice. As the zombie outbreak intensifies, they must swallow their pride and join forces on the blood-soaked battlefield in order to conquer the undead once and for all.
I really appreciate you reading it like that. That was great. I was just confirming we do have it on Blu Ray, but not 4K. That's awesome they gave us a 4K in here.
So, let's see. Yes, high dynamic range for more detail, vivid color, and greater contrast.
By the way, just real quick, a lot of people are like, 4K, why? I don't need more resolution, blah, blah. 4K isn't about resolution. Yes, it's a higher resolution. 4K is about the higher storage space, which allows for a greater range of dynamic range. That's what makes 4K awesome. As far as I'm concerned, anyways.
All right. So, we get some special features. We have deleted scenes, a gag reel.
Woo, yes. Mary's happy.
I live for gag reels.
She does. She loves the gag. I said the gag. Yeah, she's giving me the face. You all can feel it, I'm sure.
Mr. Collins' line-o-rama. I wonder what that is.
Oh, that's like riffing, when they riff.
Oh. All right, and then the Badass Bennett sisters. Creating the unmentionables.
Ooh.
Courtship, Class, and Carnage meet the cast. From Austen to Zombies, adapting a classic.
That is so cool, dude. I'm excited. A, I'm excited because this is a movie I had forgotten about, but I knew I wanted to watch. B, I'm excited yet again. They did include something Mary's excited to watch, so she'll be in one of the reviews. But mostly I'm excited that, holy hell, they're giving us a 4K? That is freaking sweet, dude. That just made this box just skyrocket.
Matt Smith is in there.
Yeah, Matt Smith, Lena Headey. If I'm saying it right? Yeah, Headey. You all know her as Siri.
Yeah.
I know her as Sarah Connor, the best Sarah Connor. I will fight you on that. That is true. No disrespect to original. Oh God, now her name, Linda Hamilton. But that's really, really sweet, dude. So yeah, I'm terribly excited for this. When was this? Well, the disc was 2016. I don't know when the movie was. And 107 minutes.
2016 sounds about right.
No, this was older than 2016. Oh, yeah. No, this would have been like 2010 or something like that.
Nah.
Yeah. Echo, what year did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies come out?
The book Pride and Prejudice and Zombies was published about 11 years ago on May 1st, 2009.
Echo.
The film adaptation.
Shit. What year did the movie Pride and Prejudice and Zombies come out?
The book Pride and Prejudice and Zombies was published about 11 years ago.
She'll tell us.
May 1st, 2009.
Here we go.
The film adaptation was released on February 5th, 2016.
Eric, cut that part out.
You were saying?
Was it that recent? That's only 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was pretty recent. We just didn't. We were not quite doing movies as much as we were back then.
Right, it may have been around the time we started going to the movies together, but I would have thought this was a good deal older. But all right, cool. Anyways, this is great because this means 3 out of 4 of these releases I do not have, at least in this format, because I know whatever this is, I don't have this version. And I'm a movie collector as well, so I appreciate that. Also, physical media, baby. They can't take it away from you. They can't destroy it.
How bad's the cover art going to be?
That is the question with the horror pack special editions or exclusives. Let's see what we get first off. Interesting. That's not their art. That's going to be the director's art. This is definitely going to be pretty low budget. Oh. I think I might enjoy this. But we've had worse box art on the back.
Yeah.
Cover your mummies. Will that do it? Why won't you focus? Focus. That's what I said. Focus. There we go. That's about as good as I can get it, I think. Nope, it's wanting to blur out. There we go. All right, so I mean, it's laid out all right. At least they have some separation with the block. There's no credit block. The frame grabs are clearly frame grabs and not set photography.
Yeah.
And that looks horrible. That said, they have a great art on the front.
Yeah.
I do think that catches the eye pretty well with Witch's Brew. And this is release 49 from Horror Pack. You can see that on the spine, sort of right there. Not anymore because I just focused on my Screeching Weasel shirt. When two micro brewers screw over the town witch, she curses their latest batch of beer. Everyone who drinks it suffers a gruesome death. Midnight Crew Studios returns with another hilarious and gory horror comedy.
There's a space there.
Yeah, there should be a space between and gory. But that's fine. 88 minutes. It is widescreen, 2020. Does include an audio commentary, a drinking game, behind the scenes featurette, theatrical trailers. But you can tell this is going to be very, 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 very low budget. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, like if you
I think it's maybe meant to be more camp.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be like camp and silly. But is it actually clever camp and silly? Or is it
just badly done camp?
No, I'm thinking what a lot of these movies are, and I've been guilty of this myself, are, oh my God, me and my friends are hilarious. Let's make a movie. And it's only funny to you and your friends. What was the Bong of the Living Dead or something?
Yeah.
Kind of felt like that, although that felt a little bit higher produced than a lot of these things. And again, I'm not knocking it because I've been there. It could, if we're lucky, it's going to feel more like a low budget pictures Chris Seaver kind of movie because his movies were great.
Not Ron Weasley?
Yeah, you got a little bit of not Ron Weasley in there. So, you know, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I will give you a review. I will try and be nice because I do try to always be positive about these things when I can. But I don't know. I just when I see frame grabs used, it bothers me. Yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed it's actually something cool. I mean, they do have a large cast of characters. But, you know, and it's the Horror Pack Limited Edition Blu-ray. I mean, they did pretty good on the front art. Yeah, I don't know, man.
And the one guy looks like he's like, I'm the only black guy on this cover. That doesn't bode well for me.
Unless it's one of those movies that's like aware of that and they're like, oh, he's not gonna die till the end or something. I don't know. Like that whole trope got overplayed to where it became satirized, to where it went to the opposite of that trope, to where that became overplayed, to where it's gone back to the trope, to where like that whole the black guy always dies first in a horror movie is like, I don't even know where that trope is in this grand scheme of things anymore. It's just gone so back and forth with that.
Yeah.
To where I actually just prefer when movies don't give a shit about it anymore. But that's just me. And again, I'm not trying to be, you know, I will, if anybody is going to find positives in movies like this, I'm one of those people. Like, I love no budget B cinema when I'm in the right mood for it. But, you know, overall, this is pretty good. Only one movie out of here I legitimately had. One movie I had that I did not have on 4K. That's just awesome.
Not Colin Firth.
Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
I don't. It's not like I'm not even that excited that I don't even feel like it's worth showing them. So, all right. But anyways, there you go. Let's do the review, shall we? Here we go. Let's watch some movies. Okay, so I just watched Saint Agatha, and it was way better than I thought it was gonna be. I'm filming this and watching this before I've edited the actual unboxing, so I haven't watched the trailer or anything. And I know the back of the box reads slightly different than what I was thinking this is gonna be, but I was thinking this is gonna be kind of more of a traditional, you know, ghost story in a convent. I was about to say nunnery, but that's not a thing. But actually, it's quite different. I really like this, the setting, the tone. There's a few moments in it that, you know, it's like, oh, we're definitely going for gross out when it doesn't need to be going for gross out, because it had some legitimate, interesting things happening. And then I think some of the music and some of the sound design are a little distracting at sometimes. In a way, it's almost like they're going for a little bit of Suspiria and Goblin soundtrack there, but where they're saying words in the native language of the film, you know, in English that you can understand, it feels kind of weird. And when it gets into kind of the operatic stuff, it doesn't quite sound like a choir as much as it sounds like a dude in his studio going, ho, 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 you know, so it kind of was a little bit off-putting. But if that had been a little bit more smoothed out, I think I would have enjoyed that element of a bit more. I do think the story is very solid. I think, you know, the acting is very solid, the characters, the casting, the design, everything. You hate who you're supposed to hate, you care for who you're supposed to care for. There's some good kind of, you know, twists and turns along the way. I mean, not super twisty-turny, but like I was engaged in the mystery of what's going on here. Is it real, is it not? And how it all played out. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but I did very much feel satisfied by the ending, especially because there's some things that kind of get under your skin, and you know, you feel kind of vindicated, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this quite a bit. And you know, again, Darren Lynn Bousman, he's a solid director. I enjoy his work. And this is something, like I said, I think had I seen a trailer, I might not have been as impressed with it. I did watch this without really knowing anything about it, and I think that really helped. I also had a very great spicy Bloody Mary while I was drinking it, which is kind of appropriate because the main character's name is Mary, or Agatha, or Mary. I don't know. Anyways, very, I do know, I'm making a joke. Very cool stuff, and a really good a surprise from Horror Pack. Because again, going in with the box and everything, I was expecting less of this than I got. So very happy with this one. So I just watched Insidious 3, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I watched part 2 and 3 back to back, which is going to be weird to do a Patreon review for part 2 out of order, and this will come out long after I filmed the part 2 review, which comes out after this review. Anyways, I'll make it a free one on Patreon if you want to look that up. But you know what? I like this. I like that it's a prequel. I like the way it ties into things. I like the characters. I like the writing. And again, this is the first one not done by, James Wan. Lee Winnell still wrote it. He wrote all of them, and he directed this one. And I mean, it's solid in that regard. Although I will say, the final jump scare I thought was kind of a cheap jump scare. A lot of the jump scares work pretty well in here. I think they're motivated. They look pretty good. Last one was a little bit cheap. The thing I think I have the biggest problem with in this, and I hate to say this because, well, I guess I gotta say it before I can say the because, but what I least like about this is probably Lynn Shay. And I think I love her. I love it when she shows up in movies. I'm always happy to see her. She's not gonna turn me off to ever seeing anything she's in, you know, nothing like that. And she's not terrible, but she's not great in this movie. And she comes across really gimmicky and super cheesy. And since she really has to carry like probably half of the film, I don't know, it doesn't quite work. Like, she gets an action moment in here that just kind of had me laughing. Like, in concept and story and everything, it's great, but just the way it's executed just is kind of giggle worthy. Between being able to tell when it's a stunt double and just the lines, the comedy they go for, the kind of obvious comedy, which I like, but again, it's pulled off and just there's an extra little layer of cheese that, you know, and I don't know that it's completely her fault as much as maybe the director Lee Winnell, although there's some cheese with her performance in James Wan's movie, some, you know, but I mean, still, all props and all love to Lynn Shay. I'll watch her in anything she's in. But she's kind of problematic in this film. The young girl is great. Her plight is great. The monster is really great. I do like how they tie it in. Some of the tie-ins to, since this is a prequel, to parts 1 and 2 are pretty neat. Some of the tie-ins, not so much. They don't do anything really new with this one. Like, I appreciate that the first movie didn't take this as a straight ghost story. It kind of did it in a scientific, physics and philosophical kind of way. And then the second movie, I think, even kind of played on that some more and did something new with that, explored a new element of it. This one doesn't do any of that. It's just kind of more straight up ghost story. And it's not bad for that. It's not as good as the other two, because I think that's a really special flavor that makes the first two stand out really a lot for me. You know, pacing's pretty good. It's the shorter one of the three, or at least of the last one. And, you know, it doesn't drag. It does feel like it's it's not really padded, but it doesn't feel like it needs to be any longer or shorter. So I guess it's all right in the pacing. Our duo, Lee Winnell and the other guy, I mean, they're fun and charming as always. However, again, this being a prequel, so kind of the forming of the team, if you will. Again, performance writing, that area, that scene seems a little bit wonky, a little bit cheesy, a little bit goofy. But again, I don't want to sound like I'm totally down on this film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It definitely got some yelps and startles and weird screams out of me. I definitely had to bundle up under the sheets. Not as strong as like the Conjuring films, but still, it absolutely still worked in a lot of those regards. Definitely, I think the weakest of the 3 films, but not by a whole lot, not by enough to be like, oh, the first 2 are great and this is garbage, nothing like that. This is still a solid entry in the series. I would watch another one. I don't know if they're planning another one. I guess they just kind of moved on to the Conjuring series. But overall, you know, I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad it was in the horror pack. I'm glad the horror pack sent me the first one and really got me to watch the whole series finally, because it's on my list. I was going to get to it eventually. Now I had a good reason. And I'm glad I got to get my initial opinions of it without having seen any of them before. And of course, the wine was really good too, so that helps as well. Although I do think a lot of 2 and 3 are going to blend together for me, and since I'll shoot my Patreon review for 2 later than 3, it's going to be a little weird. But yeah, all right. Well, anyways, that's my thoughts on Insidious 3. Probably one of the stronger picks in the pack is my guess. It's the first I've watched out of this horror pack this month. We'll see. Okay, we just watched Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and...
Oh, me?
Yeah, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Okay. I enjoyed it too. I got a little tired at the beginning, and I guess I should preface this with I'm not a huge fan of like the Jane Austen style or era of writing.
Like that Edwardian period.
Yeah, it's like the least interesting time for me, and typically I would check out, and that may help me check out at the beginning of this a little bit. But once it got going, I thought it was pretty good. I really liked the zombie stuff. The romance element worked for me. Granted, it was a little bit higher stakes. I like how it kind of explains like that stronger woman type thing that you would find in this writing, but with a way that I can more relate to, for lack of a better term. Because like they brought it in with like action and zombies. So like in a way, I'm kind of like, okay, I've never been a Jane Austen fan, but I can see why it was appealing because there is a really strong, great love story in there. If you can get through the elements that I don't necessarily like, the window dressings.
Yeah.
But acting was great. Effects were pretty great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say it's been a minute since I saw. I've never read the book. I've seen at least one adaptation, but it's been like decades.
I haven't at all. So.
But like, because I'm sitting here going like, how close is this? How much do I actually remember? The only part I really remember is that Darcy's sister's crazy and burns down the house.
I don't recall that in the movie at all.
No, yeah. See, that part was completely rewritten.
You mean the movie lied? Yeah. I was gonna say I think it's a little more gruesome than a PG-13 as I would have expected, but there's some shots in there. But it's very kind of comic booky, and I appreciate that.
A lot of the gruesomeness happened so fast, like the head explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost blink and you miss it.
I don't yawn. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, yeah, she never even winced at any of the real gore or anything, and so, but it's not necessarily always about that. As far as what they were going for, I think they achieved it very well. There's kind of not even a mid-credit, but like shortly after the credits begin scene that's really good and sent us down a rabbit hole of researching things.
Yeah, because apparently there is a sequel to the book that this is based on.
That's
actually,
what I was
there's a couple of other. There's a sequel and a prequel from what I read. But unfortunately, from what I read, the sequel book does not pick up where that mid-credit.
So the movie would have been different.
Yeah,
I can see that. One minor spoiler, because I think we can get away without big spoilers, I guess. I thought maybe this would be spoilery, but there's a whole thing with like blowing up a bridge to stop zombies. And I'd already been thinking this thought, but then you see the TV just went into standby. Then you see in the background, after getting rid of the bridge to stop the zombies, the zombies just running and falling or jump, off, not the bridge, but everything beside the bridge. And I'm thinking, the way these zombies are portrayed, they aren't just stupid and just jumping, so.
Well,
actually, I think this might be spoilers. That's what my brain is realizing is it's kind of spoilers.
Okay, because I was going to explain what's wrong with your assumption there.
Well, that's not my assumption. That's why I had to stop before spoilers. That was the setup to my assumption. So I tell you what, let me just actually say this. Yes, spoilers. Skip forward to where this isn't green. Everybody out? You out? You've had time. Not as much time as usual, but you had enough time.
Okay.
So you're assuming what I just said is what I think. No, I was saying I don't think... they wrote it that way. But no, the zombies knew they weren't going to... That wasn't going to be their end. That's what I was saying with the whole bridge blowing up, is it was kind of actually ridiculous because it didn't matter because they're zombies. They can go through the moats or climb or whatever. They're intelligent zombies. So seeing them actually jump off the wall in the background, which was a fantastic visual, I was like, they're not dead. They're going to just come on over. It's just going to slow them down slightly. Mild inconvenience.
That's just the thing is, if you jump off one side, you're probably you won't die, but you'll break enough bones.
Oh, well, that's true. You're going super practical, which with it, you have to go within the way this universe works and the realism of it, and in the realism of this universe, that wouldn't happen to those zombies. Because we saw plenty of people who should have had many bones broken. You got to go with that suspension of disbelief there. So you can't say my assumption's wrong based on trying to apply real world physics in there.
But the thing is, I think if they hadn't basically sabotaged the intelligent zombies, then they would have found a much better way to get around the problem.
Obviously, very much in spoilers, as we've already told you. But, well, yeah, but I mean, that's the whole thing. People are dumb and their arrogance overtakes the intelligence at times. I mean, it's not like anything modern at all. I mean, that doesn't happen
Because
anymore.
I had very mixed feelings about Darcy's plan to rescue Lydia.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going this will work in the short term, but I think long term you're going to cause bigger problems. Just saying.
Yes, but again, you're coming in too practical, which is not what movies are necessarily supposed to be. Sometimes they are,
but sometimes...
I know.
I kind of feel like sometimes, it's big, goofy fun, but sometimes you should take in the ramifications.
Yes, sometimes. But is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies one of those times? Did they ever give you any indication this was one of those movies that's supposed to be one of those times?
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's...
This is like the only place in our existence I get to give her crap over something, so I'm enjoying it.
I'm just saying it's like sometimes you go okay, you recognize the big goofy fun, but you should also kind of go okay, in real life. Just because...
That's not what you do with movies unless a handful of there's a subset of movies that's what they're trying to do, but no, most movies it's escapism, it's fantasy, it's you read a book to get away from the world, you look at art to lose yourself and not think. So no,
but I'm just saying
when I'm arguing this, by the way, I realize I'm not arguing it specifically at you. I feel like I'm arguing it more at the general people that feel this way.
It's sort of along the lines of you watch something violent and you go, that was cool and everything, but no, you should not do that in real life.
Well, yeah.
That's more along the lines that I'm kind of arguing.
I mean, you see somebody do something in a movie that you kill them in the movie, you don't do it in real life. Yeah. But you don't. But no, I don't think that's the same argument as sitting here and saying, "Well, I'm watching this whole movie. Well, I can't enjoy this because that doesn't make sense."
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it because of that. I'm just saying
I took it wrong.
I'm just saying that it's. I enjoyed the movie, yes. I'm also allowed to have mixed feelings about some of the actions of the characters.
You're allowed to have whatever feelings you want. I'm not telling you that. I'm just arguing.
You're arguing that I'm stupid for doing that.
No.
No, not stupid, but...
No, not at all. I'm not even arguing anybody out there is stupid for that. I'm just saying that, the whole... when you
You're saying
when you
that
judge
I
a movie,
can't do it both ways.
well, first off, I'm not saying you specifically. I did just say that a minute ago. That I feel like it's coming across that I'm arguing
But we are having this discussion.
But I'm using you as an opportunity to argue against the general section of the public that says this all the time about every movie. You're not doing this at all, but like, you know, I'm talking the extremes out there of every movie must be Citizen Kane or something, you know, for lack of a better term. It's like, no, movies can be big, dumb, comic-y fun, you know. They don't have to hold to logic. It's probably the wine. I'll just say it's the wine.
I'm hungry though. I'm getting hangry.
Well,
Green light's not helping. Angry! Just see my red shirt.
Well, since we are doing spoilers, and we went off on such a huge tangent, though, I do want to take it back right to where that started, and just because there's one specific thing I wanted to mention, is with the Darcy's plan at the church. It did lead to one of the coolest, most badassery scenes in the movie, though. When, like, because I was confused. I was like, wait, did I doze again? Like, why are all the zombies suddenly ravenous and gonna kill a zombie leader dude? And then they reveal, and not only do they reveal, like...
See, I figured that out as soon as he went to the church with the big bag.
Yeah, I wasn't there with that. I didn't connect it for whatever reason. But his reveal, but more so because of the line he gives in the reveal, I fell in love with that moment. It's like I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember the kicker of the line, but I don't know if it's like, oh, I didn't free them, or I didn't, you know. Basically, it's no, I fed them, and then that's when I realized, oh, the brains. Oh, right, suck it out. Oh,
yeah.
So I don't know. I know you were ahead, and yeah. But overall, it's pretty cool. I still can't really handle like the Elizabethanness of it.
Yeah, Elizabethan. Yeah. I said Edwardian earlier. That was wrong.
Oh, okay. Well,
I knew it was an E thing.
I thought mine wasn't a real word, but
no, Elizabethan is correct.
The fuck? Who the hell am I?
No, wait, no. I think take back. I was right.
Okay, good. I was starting to worry.
Elizabethan is like Shakespeare.
Fair, and I guess I make that connection with calling it that because what I'm getting at is the style of the dialogue.
Yeah, well,
it's not Shakespearean. It's Jane-Eyrean.
Yeah, Elizabethan is different from Edwardian. Is different from Victorian. Is
Victorian secrets. Anyways, it was a pretty good time, so I can get down. Oh, and Matt Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute joy, absolute charm. Lena Headley, however you say it, fantastic. But Matt Smith, just a goddamn joy. A treasure in this film and everything. And now I want to go watch his run of Doctor Who again. And, yeah.
That's going to be a lot of watching.
I got time.
Do you now?
All right, whatever. All right. 4K. How'd the 4K? It looked good. I don't know that I was really noticing anything stand out in the HDR or the resolution, but it looked good. Okay, that's it. So Mary can get a snack.
Food
snackles. All right. All right. All right. So last night I watched Witch's Brew after having quite a few drinks myself. And, there's something good in this. There's possibility for a really good movie to come in this. It's just not quite there. I have some issues with it, some things I like, some things I don't. Ultimately, it's clearly a very low budget, although what budget they did seem to have, they really did put into the actual makeup effects, which for the most part are very good. Some of them kind of really show the seams a little bit too much, like the lighting needed to be darker or something, which is kind of one of the negatives where I think this film is actually, it's well shot. Like the cinematography is very good. It's got good quality to the videography or cinematography. It looks high end and everything, but I think that's to its detriment to a point. I feel like a lot of the effects and the gore and certain things in here might have been more effective if this had been grainier. I feel like this would have been pretty awesome if it was shot on Super 8 in terms of the visuals and how the effects work. But ultimately, it also has some of that like amateurish, a big problem a lot of lower budget startup films kind of have is you can tell when a scene starts that everybody involved, the actors, the director, everything, the editing, that the scene just started. Like you can tell you're just dropped into a scene on paper. It doesn't feel like coming into a natural scene. Things don't really flow from scene to scene. Although overall, I think the editing in this is pretty strong. I think the whole thing does flow. It doesn't really drag. It doesn't really get boring. The concept is pretty cool. You know, these kind of slackers who make slacker brew, and the thing with the cat really bugged me because now I love my cat babies downstairs more than I used to. But I do like this premise that the beer gets cursed, and it kind of spreads through the town. But then I have some logic issues. Like it doesn't look like they made nearly as much beer as we see get drunk, consumed in the movie. And then that's one of my other big problems too, is the inconsistency in how the curse works. A lot of times they seem to be going for street trash and a lot of body melt, which is pretty good, and for the budget they're on, they did some real good stuff with it. But then randomly it does some random things, like bad Halloween costume monster kind of things. And again, tone-wise, I wasn't really sure where we're trying to go with this. Is it going to be like real super goofy? I think they were going for a Lloyd Kaufman style, but they couldn't quite nail the blend of the character aspects and the comedy and the gore and the absurdity of it. Parts of it did kind of click like that, but it never really felt that way all the way through. It didn't feel smooth in that regard. I got a real big laugh, and this is a bit of minor spoiler, with the first victim of the beer, the vet, the homeless vet in the wheelchair, and like his legs start working, he's getting excited, and he kicks himself in the face to death. That I legitimately laughed out loud. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought that's when I knew what the movie was going to be, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm in for a real good time. But then I don't know. Then it just kind of pulls back and it starts doing random things and weird things. And the end is a bit of a bloodbath, and there's some unexplained, like, well, where did all these people come from? It was interesting to see Carol Baskin playing a witch. Oh, wait, that wasn't Carol Baskin? And again, even though it does reek of some amateurishness in some of the performances, I still think the performances were pretty strong, all things considered. You do feel like the lead actor in this is also the writer-director. I don't think he actually is, but you kind of get that sense. But he is really committed. So even though I think really it's just some of it comes down to not quite, the script is a little bit undercooked. It could have been more thought out. And then the transitions particularly, which is something a lot of startup, newer, lower budget filmmakers don't really focus on, is transitioning from scene to scene for the flow. That even needs to start in the writing. It can't just be done with editing. And I feel like that was a little bit bothersome here. Plus, there's times when the camera is in real close-up and it needs to be wider. But again, that could just be a budgetary thing. I don't really want to fault them for that. Because sometimes you're just like, wait, what's going on? And but again, I think, it could have been a lot worse. But ultimately, I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, if you're really, really, really drunk and maybe high, if that's legal for you. I was pretty drunk. You might get a little bit more kick out of it, and it could have been a lot worse. So not bad, not great, not bad, but there's witches brew.
Wow, you know what? That was fantastic, except that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't watched them. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the reviews. Hopefully you enjoyed Horror Pack. What did you think of these movies? Which one was your favorite? How do you feel about all of them? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So definitely geek out with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And of course, click that thumbs up button. Give us that good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. And if you want to, check out the Patreon for more movie reviews, video game Let's Plays, things like that. If you can, no pressure, no worries. It's $1 a month. Look up TheEricButts. Use the links in the description below. And I guess that's about it. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get on out of here and we're gonna go watch some movies. We're gonna kick some zombie ass and drink some brews and be Insidious with Saint Agatha. It's not at all clever. And we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you all later.